So apparently we have Brad Garlinghouse, of course, from XRP and Ripple, indirectly confirming, according to this tweet, that XRP will reach Bitcoin's price. Apparently XRP is the next Bitcoin. So I want to discuss what is happening with the price action of XRP. I want to look at this specific clip here and figure out whether or not we agree, or let's figure it out. And I want to look at the overall market so you guys can be fully up to date today so you can make informed decisions with XRP and your cryptocurrency bags. Please remember that nothing in my videos is financial advice because, of course, I am not a financial advisor. And let's hear from Brad himself.
From the get-go, Ripple has worked with regulators, and we have worked with regulated institutions like banks where there isn't regulatory uncertainty. And so we have found that part of the reason why XRP has performed well is because people realize, hey, wait a minute, back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? Back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? If we work with the system to solve this problem, and we can solve that problem at scale, a problem measured in the trillions of dollars, then there's a lot of opportunity to create value in XRP.
So very interesting stuff there. For me personally, it doesn't sound like he's talking about the price of Bitcoin. However, I want to hear from you guys. Do you think that XRP can hit $94,000 a coin? For me personally, unless there is a big shift in the amount of XRP that exists, I don't think that's ever going to happen. But $94,000 is where Bitcoin sits today, and XRP sits at a price of $2.26. So on the channel over the last week, I've shown you live here on the channel that I've been adding to my XRP position. We added in 2 stop losses to make sure both of those added positions won't get absolutely wrecked. They won't destroy my account. And so far, we now have XRP moving up into $4,000 worth of profit. We have our other trades here, SUI and Bitcoin here, printing nice amounts of gains. And XRP hopefully will start to make some move next. So if you guys do want to do something similar, you can trade XRP over on Blowfin. And right now on Blowfin, if you head down to the description, you can take part in this spinner XRP game. They made this just for you guys, and there is 8 days left of this. So you can get up to 1,000 XRP per spin, and you can do a lot of spins here. All you have to do, sign up using my links and start trading on the exchange to get your chance to win this 1,000 XRP. Also, guys, as you know, I've been doing my copy trading experiment here, and we now have $2,648, and we're copying Quantoshi. If you do want to do something similar, you have to head to the links in the description and follow all of those rules in order to be able to follow this copy trader. Links for that in the description. And guys, for our XRP trade on a technical level, right now we're playing with some lovely resistance. You can see it was support back here, it was support back here, support here, support, very big support here, and support here. So it's going to be a strong resistance for us to break through here, and hopefully we do make it up. If we can break through this, hopefully we flip it into a support and then head higher. So if you're looking for an entry, guys, if we do get a breakout from this and then we head down again, that could be your entry, or simply dollar cost averaging in a similar fashion to the way we have been here on the channel. Now you can see we are very clearly breaking out of this downward channel, finally coming up, retesting it here, and hopefully this is the move to the upside. So there's a number of different positions or price points we can watch, like the $2.50 is going to be a psychological level, but I'm waiting patiently now for our position that we've started to start paying off. We've got our stop losses in place. Always make sure you have your risk management in place. Now looking at the overall market, guys, we have Michael Saylor hinting at buying up to $1 billion worth of Bitcoin today. Absolutely wild stuff. And he says that Bitcoin is going to $10 million a coin. Can you imagine if Bitcoin goes to $10 million a coin, how high XRP could also go, given the amount of regulation and clarity we're having in the presidency right now? And talking about that, we actually have Bitwise's CEO here saying that the 4-year Bitcoin cycle is dead. And he's specifically talking about the presidency and how that is creating 2 separate tidal waves into this market. So let's have a look.
4-year cycle, is it over?
Yeah.
Woo! It's over.
Okay, hold on. Explain.
Well, I mean, so my view of the 4-year cycle is you have a catalyst that brings new pools of capital in. So 2011, it was the launch of Coinbase. Retail investors could buy Bitcoin, new capital, then leverage builds up and eventually it pops. 2015, the introduction of Ethereum. 2019, DeFi. 2023, it was Grayscale winning its lawsuit in March against the SEC. We're going to get ETFs bringing in capital. The reason I think it's probably not going to play out over 4 years is I think that's a longer inflow of capital than retail hot ball of money, which was the past 3. And then secondly, we have yet another of those catalysts in November, which is the election completely changing the game in terms of institutional adoption. So even if the ETF-driven cycle would have built up, leveraged, and popped and receded, we have this second tidal wave that's just so much bigger than that first one. It's going to overwhelm it. So will there be, pullbacks? We're seeing one now as leverage comes out of the system, of course. But the election was such a sea change that it's like, it doesn't matter. Yes, there may be this natural thing, but it's just going to get bulldozed over. That doesn't mean we've repealed pullbacks, but I think this cycle is going to be much longer than people think. I definitely don't think this pullback is the end. I think 2025 will be a great year. I think 2026 will be a great year. I think 2027 will be a great year. And we'll see about 2028.
So very interesting stuff there. Potentially a longer cycle now, this year, 2025, next year, 2026. And I think all of this could be very positive for the price of XRP, given the regulatory clarity that we're having now. So as we speak, XRP is still the 3rd largest crypto, $132 billion market cap. Really not that far, like just off 100 billion off of Ethereum. And I think that the whole tide is going to move upwards from here. Now, I could be completely wrong, and that's why we use good risk management, but I do think that we had a pretty scary pullback for the entire market, and now people are starting to realize that wait a second, Bitcoin is still exactly what it was before we had this crash. Bitcoin is still exactly what it was before we had the tariff news, all of that stuff, and then in turn that's spilling over to the likes of the altcoins, to the likes of XRP, and hopefully even more so into those American-based cryptos like XRP going forward from here. And then we also do have the stock market looking relatively nice. If we check the futures right now, however, Yahoo Finance, we have Monday's open looking like it could be red. So I would be preparing for a little bit of turbulence going forward. Okay, no guarantees here. We have about 8 hours until the market opens, but very slightly in the red so far. So maybe a red open here, and it could give you that opportunity to bolster your position. So if you do want to place a trade, whether it's on the spot market, whether it's on the futures market, whether it's copy trading like I'm doing myself over on Blowfin, you can do it all in one place, and the exchange works really, really well, guys. So if you want to mitigate some of the risk of having all of your assets on one exchange or only trading on one exchange, like I always say, don't keep all of your assets on any exchange, right? Keep it in cold storage. But you can mitigate your risk by having access to a number of different exchanges. So if one thing happens to another, you can quickly move to that one. You can keep trading, all of that stuff. So if you want to sign up, the links for Blowfin are down there in the description, guys. Get that 1,000 XRP on this spinner game. Plus, make sure you read the terms of service so you understand what you're getting involved in. But guys, a very exciting time for the market. Let me know again, do you think that XRP is the next Bitcoin? I want to hear from you guys. I want to keep you guys up to date with what's happening every single day. So let me know in the comment section what you guys want from this channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.